Eat foods that stabilize blood sugar. So this is quite a nice one because it's just about adding certain foodstuffs to the food that you already eat. Obviously watch the carbs. We want to keep the carbs relatively low, but if you're having something like a below ground vegetable, or maybe you're having a fruit that isn't a particularly low fructose fruit, maybe it's a banana, personally I would just throw a whole lot of cinnamon over that. But you can add things like berberine or bitter melon extract or rock lotus. And those will actually just dampen the effect of sugar on the blood glucose. Sorry, that will dampen the effects of blood glucose in the body. And trick number 6 is to consume more fiber. So look, that just means more salads. It means more vegetables, preferably above ground vegetables, more than below ground vegetables. And this is because insoluble fiber is broken down into units that can reduce fat storage. So I'm simplifying this terribly, but we don't really need to go into the detail of it. We want to improve insulin sensitivity and improve glucose tolerance, that's sugar tolerance. And insoluble fiber can help you do all three of those. So it's a good idea to bring some fiber in. It also slows down, more fibrous foods will slow down the rate of absorption of sugar into the bloodstream. And sometimes I have clients saying to me, if I want to have something really, okay, let me give you an example. I love carrot cake, but if I eat carrot cake, I generally pour a tub of cream over it. And the reason for that is because the cream is so high in fat, it will create a more flat lining, so it will squash my glycemic variability because because the fat will slow down the rate of absorption of those sugars. And so I find that if I have something with a lot of fat and sugar, look, it's not great to do it often, but doing it every now and then is perfectly fine. And what it means is I won't be hungry for hours and hours and hours and hours after that because I put so much fat in. But I also won't get the usual kind of blood sugar spike and then that disastrous kind of, I just want to put my head down and fall asleep. So I don't get that from it because I add so much fat. So I am more inclined, if I do something high sugar, to certainly add whether it's the berberine or the cinnamon or whatever it is, but also add some fat. But that's because I don't do it terribly often, but it does mean that I don't overeat in the context, because you probably all know that experience where you have something that's very high carb and you're hungry quite soon after you've had it. So you get the spike where you feel wild, and then you get the crash where you just want to sleep, and then you're hungry quite soon after it. If you add more fat to that, like I do, you certainly won't be hungry anytime soon. Okay, so let's just recap on those. We've got engage in strength training. We've got do cardio in the morning in a fasted state. So if you're going to eat breakfast, do it before breakfast. Number 3, take a stroll after eating. So any meal, just take a stroll around the block. Number 4, stand more often. Maybe put an alarm on your phone to go off every half an hour or something so that it reminds you to switch between the standing and the sitting. Number 5, eat foods that stabilize or add foods that stabilize blood sugar, because that's a fairly easy thing to do. Number 6, consume more fiber. So more above ground vegetables, more salad stuff, and maybe your low fructose fruits.